What up, everybody? Welcome back after all this time. You thought I was gone, but I've risen from the ashes, people. Views from the 2 is back, redone, reloaded, and to my side, my left side, is our new permanent co-host, because I had to find somebody who's going to have just as strong views and just as different wide views of things as I have, and I got the first lady, the all everlasting lady of the views, Miss Wendy Ochola. She is in the house. She's got a lot to talk about. She's got a lot to spit about, and we're gonna get into this stuff. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl, and we're gonna make our picks in the end on who we think is gonna win this Super Bowl, and just our own observations. And there's so much I gotta get off my chest about it, because as a Chargers fan, I'm feeling it. But I gotta root for somebody. Where's my heart at? Where's my head at? And where does Wendy stand with this whole Super Bowl debacle? Everything that's going on leading up to the Super Bowl. Tom versus time, and the young Rams going against the old school Patriots. We're gonna see how we get this, and it's time to start it off. First off, how you doing? Look at you, you're all dressed in debt.
Well, a lot of the other shows, all the commentators dress up in a nice suit. So I wore my Sunday's best to the best show, and I can't wait to get into the Super Bowl a little bit more and really talk about what we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Speaking of, like Bobby said, old school versus new school, quarterback versus receiver.
Yeah.
And we're about to talk about some of our heady hitters like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
And a few
we got Gronk in the house. We got the rookie Sonny Michel. Always Bill Belichick. One of the best owners in sports, Robert Kraft. And on the Rams side, you got Sean McVay, who's the I guess in the NFL terms, he's a young buck. He's my age. At 33 years old, just turned 33, so I think he's slightly older, but we're pretty much at that same age. But he's got to go against Grandpa and Bill Belichick because he's 66. You got arguably the best running back in football, Todd Gurley on that side. You got the up and coming Jared Goff, the fastest #1 overall pick quarterback to reach a Super Bowl. You got the widest age gap in Super Bowl history, 41 to 22.
Between the two quarterbacks.
Yeah, and probably the widest gap in head coaches in NFL history. And then you got a few little storylines here. You got the Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. He held out throughout the summer to get a big deal, get a new contract. And then you see now why he's earning his money. He's been a monster. He had almost 20 sacks this year. He's easily going to be the defensive player of the year. Oh no, he had over a dozen sacks. He's easily going to be the defensive player of the year. But this is all about the new school and the old school. When you look at these Patriots and you look at these Rams, what do you see? Like where do you see this game going when it comes to experience versus that new youth movement? Sean McVay, the players friendly coach who's going against the old school, tough-minded, strict to my principles, Bill Belichick. What do you think about that?
Well, the good thing about new school and having new blood come in, not into just football specifically, but in any sport, the kids are hungry.
Yeah.
They want to make their mark, and they have a new, fresh perspective on how to play the game.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with the old school, they're more about just sticking to the basics, sticking to protocol, doing things the way that they have always been done, and not veering away from tradition. And really sticking to what they know works best.
Yeah.
Which can be a good thing or a bad thing. In new school, you take chances, you take more risks. That
more
could be
innovation.
a good thing. Yeah, that could be a good thing or a bad thing as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really interested to see how that plays out. I'm really interested to see how each team interacts with each other, how they're able to work together, and whose principles work the best.
Yeah, and it's two different cultures. The Rams are just one of those teams where, look, we didn't have a single team 4 years ago.
No, we didn't.
We have the Rams, and then we have those Bolts that play in Los Angeles, but don't get treated like they play in Los Angeles.
Right.
I'm a Chargers fan. I'm holding on for dear life. I'm going for these Rams. My heart's with them, but hey, there's no problem with my Bolts losing to the champs. So my battle lines are drawn, but I have a lot of respect for the Rams because, and I do the Patriots, but my adoration for the Rams is like you were dwelling on, is that they represent the new age of this league. Young coach, big fresh new quarterback, a running game where you have a running back like Todd Gurley who gets a lot of things done in a lot of different ways. You have an LA fan base that needs that. They've been looking for football. They've been going to so many USC and UCLA football games that they think that's a pro team. But now, like, having the Rams and Chargers back makes UCLA and USC go back to just being college teams.
Right.
So,
and we haven't had a title in LA since '83 or '84.
84, yeah. It's been a long, it's been a long freaking time.
Since the Raiders were here in Los Angeles.
The Raiders were here, won that Super Bowl in '84. So it'd be a 35-year answer to our problems.
Right.
Am I going on a prayer for the Rams to win it all?
Well, you never want to underestimate Tom Brady. You never want to underestimate Tom Brady.
I would have lost my damn car if I had been on Tom Brady last week, because I did pick the Chiefs to beat the Patriots, but Andy Reid showed his butt again and showed why he's just a guy that's gonna get you 13 wins, but he ain't gonna get you that 15th win, which is in the Super Bowl, because he's just not that type of coach. He's a guy. He's a guy. He sit here. He takes you as far enough. Belichick takes you over the top. Brady takes you over the top. He is the most clutch quarterback the game has ever seen, and he's done it on the biggest stages in the brightest lights. Now going against a team that's showing their own clutchness. The Rams, they went to New Orleans. New Orleans is one of the toughest places to win. They went in there, albeit the PI gate with that guy who just ran over one of the Saints receivers. Then the best thing Roger Goodell's gonna do is just gonna fine him. Fine him? Well, what the heck is wrong with you, man? You're just gonna fine and while these guys are trying to go to court, trying to find the next People's Court episode to be on so they can sue the NFL for referee malpractice, because that's what it was. But still, I digress. The Rams won that game. The Rams are coming, and I can feel it from your vibe, Wendy. I can feel it. You are feeling these Rams. You believe that they're gonna win this game.
I'm an LA girl, so anyone that's watched any of our episodes that I've been in before, I always root for the LA team, especially because now we haven't had a Super Bowl caliber team in years since the 80s.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what this new Rams team is going to bring to LA, and if they're going to win it all.
Yeah, and looking at Sean McVay, I probably went to high school with the guy. I don't even know. He probably was in my science class, for all I know. There are reasons for concern. Gronkowski is probably going to be on the next episode, next season of The Bachelor. Probably going to be doing some type of VH1 series when he probably retires after this year. Tom Brady's still going to wear his Uggs. He's still going to sling that ball next year because I think he's going for 7. I just think there's too much. Yeah, there's too much will. There's too much will on the Patriots. But at the same time, the Rams have LA strong behind them. And I'm an LA guy. But if you always ask me who I'm picking to win the Super Bowl, I'm going to tell you the Chargers. Even if they're not going to be in the Super Bowl this year, they might not be in the Super Bowl next year. But this time, I'm going to fall back and say
Patriots. I can feel that he really wants the Patriots to win. So speaking of Rob, what do you think of him as a tight end? Outside of him doing The Bachelor, getting more into the entertainment industry, what do you think he can contribute to the team for the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna touch on my pick in a second. Okay. But when I think about Gronk with his head on straight is the best tight end in football. But that's currently occupied by Travis Kelce, because Travis Kelce can do reality shows and still ball out. I don't know what Gronkowski's been doing. He has a lot of injuries, you know. The guy he probably had a butt injury like Dwight Howard did this year, but they changed the injury report just so they can hide, like the Patriots always do. They change injuries, you know. If Tom Brady breaks his arm, they're gonna say he has a dislocated toe. That's what they do. They just want to hide stuff. Gronk has just been too banged up. I think he's just looking at his own. He's going against time. He doesn't want to keep entering seasons banged up. And then also, he had a coach that tried to trade him in the offseason. He tried to send him to Detroit, where you'll never hear from him again. And he was just like, that was the signal. That was a signal for me to go. I'll only play with Tom Brady, but I don't even know year to year if Tom Brady's going to win it.
Right.
I believe he's going to win it. But Gronk's got a lot left. He's going to be the wild card. He's going to be the wild card on that team. If he performs to the standard that he performs, that he usually does, a usual Gronk-style game, maybe 7 catches, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, the Patriots can win this game because there's not a single guy on that Rams defense that can deal with him on the open field. Not even as great as Aqib Talib, who's probably their best defensive back, who's done pretty well against Tom Brady in the past. I don't think he can even stop him. In regards to my pick, my heart is with LA. My heart is with the Rams. My heart wants the Rams to go to the Super Bowl, triumph, and bring that parade. So I have somewhere I can go to when I get off of work, go to the parade and party my butt off all the way until they get to wherever they're gonna get to, the Coliseum. And then I can just run home, and then I can stroll on home because I'm like 5 minutes away. So, or no, they're gonna meet maybe they meet in Inglewood. Maybe they meet at the site of where their next stadium is gonna be. Who knows? If they go to the Coliseum, I'm with it. But my head is going with the Patriots. I just cannot bet against Tom Brady twice. You bet against Tom Brady twice, you're a goner. If you bet on him once, you probably lost your car. You bet on him twice, you're probably homeless. That's just the way Brady is. But I'm hoping deep inside you're right. I'm hoping deep inside the LA Rams do this because I'm liking Goff. I like Jared Goff. If you put him next to Ryan Gosling, you can't tell who's who. He probably could have been in that what's that movie that with Emma Stone?
The dancing one, the musical.
Yeah.
I forgot. I can't even believe.
Well, I know him from Drive, so you could put him in. You could put Jared Goff in that movie.
Ryan
Gosling.
Gosling,
yeah. You can put him. I mean, you can have Jared Goff moving with Eva Mendes, and it'll take a half hour for her to notice that that's not her dude. You know, wait a minute, you're not Ryan. Turn around. No, you ain't got that cheekbone that he got. You look a little too young. Hey, what are you doing here, man? Get out of here. I got kids to feed. I'm going off topic here.
So speaking of the Patriots, with now Danny Amendola being gone, he's now playing with the Dolphins in Miami.
Danny Amendola. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that's changed their game a little bit?
No,
do you think that's impacted their game?
As long as they have a running game. In the rookie Sony Michel, who had 3 touchdowns against my Bolts, tore us up, and you got Julian Edelman, who's Mr. Reliable in the playoffs, always comes up with the big catches, and you have Gronk just doing something there. Tom Brady will work with me. Tom Brady will work with you. Tom Brady will work with the guy who hangs out outside the 7-Eleven asking for money. He'll turn anybody into a star receiver. Maybe we can make some money off of Tom Brady and say, hey, we'll put some pads on and go catch some passes.
I need it. I'm a good catcher.
I think you got the gloves for it, you know.
Yeah.
And you get and you know, they're playing in Atlanta, the hot ATL. You gotta love it. Have you been to Atlanta?
Never been to Atlanta before.
Gotta go. It's a whole new. It's a really good city, really vibrant city, very good Southern city, and it's just fun to be around. And they got that new stadium over there. It's a good time.
I think what else I'm looking forward to is a halftime show. As you guys know, that is one of the biggest performances of the football season. Outside of the national anthem, they always have someone singing the national anthem, which is Gladys Knight this time. And there's been a lot of heat around that. But before I go into the Super Bowl halftime show itself, let's go take a step back. Because I'm a big pop culture girl, and as you guys know, anyone with a social media account, anyone that's not been living under under a rock, knows the whole Colin Kaepernick movement.
Colin
Kaepernick movement.
Yeah.
He took a knee because he really didn't want to stand up during the national anthem. He felt that America is the complete opposite of what we claim to stand for.
Yeah.
And because of that, he lost his job. Due to him losing his job, people like Rihanna have turned the Super Bowl halftime show down. So Maroon 5 stepped in, and Gladys Knight stepped in to do
she's doing the national anthem.
The national anthem. And there's been a lot of heat around that. Amy Schumer has been pressuring Maroon 5 to back down. And as far as we know, that hasn't happened. So I'm really interested to see, number one, how they perform, what the feedback is going to be, how people are going to receive them.
Travis Scott is also performing at the Super Bowl.
And there's been a lot of heat around that too. I know Colin Kaepernick's fiance or girlfriend wrote...
I don't know why Kylie Jenner doesn't talk him out of the Super Bowl, but...
who knows? Who knows? But Travis Scott put out a statement claiming that him and Kaepernick spoke. And he said, you know what, we, left having a mutual understanding. Colin Kaepernick's, his girlfriend or fiance, I forgot what,
Well, she's the one who put the final nail in that coffin in the career. Like she's the one who put it over the top when she sent that, I guess it was a meme that showing like Ray Lewis is like an Uncle Tom or something like that. Because I guess reportedly Ray Lewis was saying we were this close to getting Kaepernick signed, so that was it for him. And his girlfriend posted something that was anti Ray Lewis, kind of doing Uncle Tom stuff. So, and
she also posted on Travis Scott saying anyone that agrees to perform at the Super Bowl, which is basically, in her eyes, going against Colin Kaepernick, cannot leave a conversation with Colin Kaepernick with a mutual understanding. So she's saying there is no mutual understanding. By you performing at this halftime show, you're showing us where you stand. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, as we touched upon in our live Instagram video, our segment, it's the grand celebration in the NFL to have the Super Bowl. For those who are still taking that knee, who still are not advocating for equal justice,
specifically against
minorities, specifically specifically African Americans.
Right.
There's never going to be any type of celebratory move from that end towards the NFL. We're not going to feel like we can celebrate the most popular sport in America until there's justice done for Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
Because he became a martyr.
Right.
He became a martyr for a lot of folks who want to speak up, who want to continue to take that knee, who want to speak out against police brutality, socioeconomic injustice, a whole lot of things going against us, which have been going against us for ages. The Washington Redskins lost their starting quarterback Alex Smith to a broken leg.
Right.
You know what? With all this, the rumors going with Colin Kaepernick, who is still fresh, ready to play, you get him in pads, you give him some time, and he's ready to do something for you. The guy went to the Super Bowl. He led the Niners to the Super Bowl, and he barely had any big game experience. You know what they did? They found the guy from the University of San Diego, Josh Johnson.
Hasn't thrown a ball.
Josh Johnson, who hadn't thrown a pass, and I think I blew at least 4 years, hadn't started a game in almost 7 years. I might have those numbers mixed up, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, they signed this guy to play quarterback, and then you try to put some moral boundaries on here and saying, well, it's a system thing. It's like, no, there's no system thing. Well, yeah, it is a system thing. It's your privatized system.
If you really wanted Kaepernick to play with you, you would have made it happen. That's what you're saying. And
that's our Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, again, people will tell you that they care about you till they're blue in the face, but they'll always show you where you stand. By the Super Bowl, taking away Colin Kaepernick's job, he hasn't played in for however long now.
Played in a couple
so
years.
I think the NFL has shown us, has shown, not just the black community but the world where they stand concerning police brutality, racism in our country, and it just validates everything that we already know.
Well,
that we present the United States as a united front. We're a united people. It's supposed to be the land of freedom, but it's anything but that.
Well, we'll bring it home because the Super Bowl is still a game to take in. It's a whole another experience. We got to go to our picks. You picked the Rams.
Yes.
I picked the Patriots, but I'm nudging with you. I'm saying
the Rams.
Get it for LA.
The Rams. The only thing that's in their way is just lack of experience. I feel like it's one thing.
George, you gotta figure it out, man. You got an identity crisis going right now.
It's one thing to
from
be
LA and
it's one thing to be a good team. Or a great team even, but it's another thing to be able to learn and play from experience. It's a whole different ball game. There are a whole new set of pressures being put on the team, and it's really a chance to prove yourself who is the better team.
Patriots are ready to win. Patriots are a favorite to win this game. This can go either way. Wouldn't be disappointed either. I'll be a little disappointed if LA loses, but we're hoping up in LA gets this one. But hard bet against Brady. But we're gonna see what happens come Super Bowl Sunday. Thank you guys for checking us out. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. And if you want to chime in on the views, you be a guest and sit here with me and Wendy, and we can just go chit chatter and talk the world about stuff. We got some more views to come in the near future. But thanks for hearing us out. Thanks for seeing us in action. And we want to thank you for your time. And stay tuned to the next episode of Views from the Two. We are out of here. Wendy, we got a lot of ground to cover because I know you got some basketball in your head. And we gonna get into that the next time. But stay tuned. Views from the Two, back with a vengeance. And we out of here.
Bye, guys.
Peace.